Oh, you know what I'm saying? It's Bass Boxing Basement. Yeah, Triple B's right here. Yeah, for his boys, his homeboys, and home girls. What up? Yeah, just hit like at least, show some love to protect the channel from the haters. Everybody know I'm shadow banned badly. Why? Because I speak truth and reality, and they always know the haters hate the truth, but the truth will out. Anyways, something very, very funny happened. Something very, very funny happened yesterday. And it involves a multiple world champion. Well, if you consider women's boxing to be serious, it's a, multiple world champion. I ain't talking about no Canelo. I'm talking about the one, the only, the so-called GWOAT, the greatest weave of all time. Sorry, the greatest no. Actually, I don't think she's a rug muncher. The greatest woman of all time, Claressa Shields, who looks like a man, like a fat version of Michael Nunn. You remember Michael's second to none? He was one of my favorite fighters back in the day. He got stitched up and sent away. Just the American so-called justice system is one of the most corrupt in the world. He got sent away for her, some fake yayo deal. That's another story. We're talking about the so-called GWOAT, the self-styled GWOAT. Yeah. That ugly thing, that, bad-mouthed, ghetto hood rat, skank with the weave, Clarence Shields, I've never liked this woman, because she's whack. I mean, having said that, if you actually compare her to any other women boxer, she is probably the best. But she's got a really bad attitude. What she does is talk about herself, whinge, complain, annoy people, But I actually, in the background, while I was working on something, there was her recent fight. I mean, what has she won? I think it's how many so-called world titles this woman won. I mean, remember, there's only like 1,500, women, women boxers, pro boxers. So I don't care about women's boxing, as I say. I only look at it to rinse it because it's so bad. But she won the light middleweight title, the middleweight title, the super middleweight title, a light heavyweight, and a heavyweight title, which she won earlier this year. Now that that sounds impressive, but when you're going against other women bums, some of these weight divisions, you know what I'm saying? They got I think the heavyweights at one point only had 8 women, 8 women, and they were all fat pigs, just a bunch of fat useless pigs who couldn't fight. I don't know what the situation is now, but and the super middleweights even. I remember when she won it, there was only 26 women's. So she was the greatest woman of 20 women. It's pathetic, man. Women's boxing. But if you're going to talk about it, I mean, just the quality's low. You know what I mean? You watch women's tennis, they'd wax, club players, male club players and stuff, the top ones. Serena Williams is probably the greatest woman tennis player of all time. She got beaten by a man who was number 300 in the world, but she wasn't completely humiliated. So that shows you the levels of women's tennis. But women's boxing, on the other hand, you cut my arm off and put me in against, Shannon Courtney, and I'd knock her out and around. And I'm an old man. Well, middle-aged, but of boxing terms. But you know what I'm saying? The quality is so whack. There's no quality there. How many women do you know? How many women have you met who've ever played, who've ever boxed. You know, and I ain't talking about no fitness boxing. You know, I met like a couple down the gym, and that was it. But I mean, outside the gym, whereas every man you would have met would have played football, and plenty, well, plenty, especially the middle class ones, would have played tennis. But yeah, so this Claressa Shields is the greatest of a bunch of exceptionally whack women. Okay, and that's all there is to it. Now, and she looks like a fat transformer Michael Nunn. Oh, actually, no, the heavyweights. Oh, some more have turned pro. There's like 38 heavyweights now, yeah? There was only 8 at one stage about 2 years ago. But, I mean, it doesn't matter anyway. They're all so terrible. She recently so-called defended her title against, I can't even remember the name of the girl, Lavi Harris. She doesn't even seem to be in box rec. I'm looking down. Anyway, but yeah, okay. She is the greatest woman of all time. It doesn't mean much. I mean, you're the greatest witch of all time. Whatever. It's like you're the greatest, I don't know, Congolese ping pong player ever. It doesn't mean that much. Lawn bowl, greatest Congolese lawn bowl player. That's the kind of level we're talking about with this Michael Nunn lookalike. But anyway, yeah, so this Poe, this fat pig, I did this little video, right? I just saw this video of pro wrestling, right? I mean, it's just nothing really, of this real fat, I think it's even a man, I don't know who the wrestlers are, this fat man that looked like Claressa Shields, and got a woman's body, kind of throwing this other wrestler around and jumping on them, I sent it to a few pals on Insta, and they had a little chuckle. I did a short out of it as well. Anyway, here it is, man. So you can have a look and see what I'm talking about. Oh yeah, I beats the GWOAT. I beats the GWOAT. Ain't nobody gonna beat me. Ain't nobody gonna beat me. Man or woman, I beats the GWOAT. I beats the GWOAT. Yeah, you wanna smell this? Smell this, boy. Smell this, white boy. I beats the GWOAT. So, it's just a bit of childish fun. Although a lot of people laughed at it, but it's basically just a bit of childish fun. And, I tagged in Claressa Shields GWOAT, because I thought, and because she tried MMA as well, didn't she? Shields, she tried MMA. She got beat in one of the fights. Did she have 2 fights? She might have won the second one. I don't care. I'm not going to look. I have no interest. I mean, women's MMA is slightly better than women's boxing. The reason being because in the UFC, which is the only MMA that really counts, in the UFC there's only 3 weight divisions for the women, right? Okay? So you've at least got at the top some quality there. And women do have strong legs and can pull off some jiu-jitsu. A really good woman is really good at jiu-jitsu. You might well be able to choke out a man who had no idea, who never done jiu-jitsu, And that's what happened in the series, the Mr. In-Between I've been watching. I mean, I know it's a movie. I'll talk about that later. Some of me Aussie fans, I think Jarrod and Cyborg told me about it. It's quite good. I'll do a review of it. I like the main guy, but he gets he's a boxer, or at least he trains in boxing. He gets choked out by this big sort of I don't know what, like Samoan type teenager woman, So that's possible. I remember I had this Danish girl that was like, she must have been like not even 8 stone. Yeah, and she knew some jiu-jitsu, and we were in bed messing around, taking care of business. And then she's like fooling around. She suddenly put me in a rear naked choke and wrapped, what they call that? Put her legs in, and then she wrap around your legs. And I felt vulnerable. And obviously I'm a lot stronger than her. And I just, I managed to get my arm underneath her choke and pull her arm off. But I still felt vulnerable. I mean, if you don't know nothing about jiu-jitsu, man, it can be quite a deadly sport. But Clarence is mainly known for being a boxer. And she. So she, is I think I'm not even gonna look. Can't be bothered. I think she got beaten once by who's that rug muncher? The Savannah Marshall, you know, with a flabby white ass. She got beaten in amateurs, but I think that might have been her only loss. I mean, I don't. Again, I don't care. The quality is so low. But Clarence, so I've gone on another tangent. Anyway, I sent this little video I just showed you round, you know, to sort of show you, you know, to pretend, oh, Clarence has done, you know, he's done MMA, he's done boxing. I'm sorry, I keep on saying he, because he you know, she looks so masculine, you know. Even though Sonny Edwards tried to rump it up. Can you imagine that? She's 170 pounds, no, 180 pounds almost. And you know, Sonny Edwards is 112 pounds, you know, and only 5'3". She's like 5'8", you know. And, you know, yeah, I mean, can you imagine how revolting that would be? It'd be like watching, you know what, have you seen that film Road Trip? It's really whack, you know, and that skinny, like, white guy. And they go into some black kind of frat house. And he ends up banging this big, fat black woman. Well, it would be kind of like that, wouldn't it? Sonny getting on top of Clarence. Oh, it'd be revolting. Imagine, I mean, I bet Otto Wallin would love to sit back and watch the action. But to me, it's pretty repulsive. Anyway, so like... so... yeah, anyway, I sent it round. People had a little laugh. I like to make people laugh, you know what I'm saying? For the funds, make the funds laugh. And I thought, you know, I got quite good feedback. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to tag in Claressa Shields. So I did. I didn't expect nothing from it, you know. Sometimes you can't tag in, like, famous people. Or, you know, Clarence isn't exactly famous, but you know, it's not like she can't walk around the streets without being harassed for her autograph. No one would know. They just think she was just another ugly, you know, overweight black woman on her way to KFC or, you know, Chick-fil-A or whatever they eat in America. Popeyes chicken. I had some Popeyes at Waterloo Station. It's actually all right. Nice sauces, buffalo sauce. So anyway, so I tagged in Claressa Shields, and to my surprise, you know, well, it allowed me to. I didn't expect to hear nothing from it. And the moody, overweight, ugly biatch sent me a private message, blood. This is great, man. This is so good. These people, by the way, also, yeah, I also got another message here on Insta. I got a message from Parsons, Charlie Parsons. I'll deal with that later. He kind of said he'd be interested in going on the channel. I don't know if he means that for real. He was actually quite friendly, but that's another video. But yeah, Charlie Parsons said, and you know, he threatened me up. You remember that? Let's see if you show that energy at the next show. I'm like, man, come on, blood. Snap you in half. But he sent me a really quite polite message, probably trying to, you know, reel me in or something, or appease me, you know. Offered me some tickets, but he was very polite. But he's a touchy guy, so I find it highly unlikely that he suddenly wants to be my pal. But anyway, I'll talk about it in another era. But yeah, Charlie Parsons, you know, after I reached him on a video, he said someone sent it to him, and he thought it was quite funny. Anyway, I'll go through that in another video. But anyway, Claressa Shields. So I tagged her in, and a few hours later, I get a message from Clarence. This is just so good. Yeah? So I get some messages from Clarence. Yeah? Let's check these out, right? So look at these, okay? So she goes to me, yo, I'm nowhere near that big. I'm pretty sure the wrestler, yeah, I entitled it as Claressa Shields tries her hand at pro wrestling. I'm nowhere near that big, she said. She was, wasn't too badly written. I was, but I ain't nowhere near that big. You capping. But no, she just was, I'm nowhere near that big. I said, well, if you keep going up in weight, one day maybe. She goes, nah, BTC never. I don't know what BTC means about Bitcoin. I had to look it up. Yeah, it seems to mean BTC. I mean, I just think it's Bitcoin, but she ain't never heard of that. The hood rat. Nah, because they can. BTC apparently it can shorthand for because they can never. Because they can never. Nah, because they can never. I don't know. Now that's more the kind of like the ghetto speak I expect from some degenerate hood rat like Clarence. But what those her pronouns? They them? Or is it just she doesn't know how to, like, what's the word, conjugate or, whatever. She doesn't know how to talk properly or whatever because they can never. I don't know. Maybe she talks about herself in the third person, or maybe she's just a ghetto hood rat who can't speak, proper English. I think that's probably more likely. Yo, you need a life, okay? Well, thank you for the advice, Clarence. I need a life. Well, I've got a life. I'm alive and breathing. If you mean, do I have a life? What, just because I made a joke and said, what you know about my life? What you know about my life, Clarence? Just I made a joke about, and it obviously hurt your fat ass, you trying to pro wrestling, and you so hurt. You need a life, okay? What do you know about my life, man? My life is okay. Okay, Clarence, but thank you very much for the advice, man. Maybe when you retire you can be a life coach because you're obviously very good about it. And then another cliche. What is it with these people, these low IQ people? What they do is use cliches. It costs $0 to be kind. Really? Well, actually, that's not necessarily true, man. Firstly, there's a number of problems, issues I have with that. It costs $0 to be kind. Why should I? Well, firstly, sometimes kindness does cost money. I can be as kind as you want to those starving people or whatever around the world. But it costs money to get them food. So sometimes it does cost money to be kind, you idiot. And when I see a lot of homeless people on the street, I often give them money, especially, old people. The crackheads and that sometimes. But I know they're just going to spend it on crack or whatever. But, the older guys, I'm like, man, they shouldn't be on the streets, So I always give them money. The other time I see a man on the street in Victoria. There's a lot of people on the street in Victoria, station in London, And I'm like, yo. And this guy's reading a book. And I'm like, blood clot. I can't remember the last time I seen someone read a book at all in a public space. Maybe an old person. Maybe old person. But, on the tube, people used to read newspapers and books. But now they're just swiping their whack-ass mobiles. And I was like, blood, I gotta give this guy some money. He's homeless, he was young, and he's reading a book. So I give him I give him a couple of quid or whatever it was. It might only have been £1, but, I said, yeah, what up, bro? Well done, man. Keep reading. Now, Clarence has probably never read a book in her life, She certainly can't. She ain't too retarded with her writing, but I've seen worse. But anyway, yeah, it don't cost no dollars to be kind. Well, why should I be kind to you anyway? I don't know you, man. Why should I be kind to you? Why? What do you want me to do? Oh, you're the greatest. Instead of making a video that's just obviously a bit of a piss take, about her going up in weight from light middleweight to heavyweight, and being a bit big boned, as you say. I prefer to say fat assed, and So she, and making a joke that she tried out MMA and boxing, so now she's trying at pro wrestling, and she got bigger. And well, that's just a little joke. Sugar tits. You haven't got no titties, really. You got no titties. You got just a fat ass. But why should I be kind to you, man? I don't know you. I find you arrogant. All she does is whinge, disrespect people. I've seen her tweets pop up now and then. I look at all she does is annoy people, whinge, say about how great she is, slate other people. So it's okay for her to be slagging people off, but I have to be kind. I have to be kind to the ghetto hood rat. Huh? The greatest hood rat of all time, man. Anyway, and I said, oh, well, what should I do to be kind, Clarence? I asked her for some advice. I mean, you're always whinging and disrespecting people, which she is. And I said, also, didn't one of your entourage knock out some old man trainer? You remember that a couple of years ago, right? A couple of years ago, there was an older trainer, and it was, I don't know, in a weigh-in or press conference of a fight, and some young guy in her so-called entourage. I mean, imagine having an entourage as a woman's boxer. No, imagine being a man. Imagine being such a beater. You're part of a woman's entourage in a boxing woman's entourage, man. And if you don't want to be part of an entourage, hang out with, be part of Mike Tyson's entourage or someone like that, I'm trying to think of whose entourage. No, Mayweather. Oh, man. I don't know, man. If you're a hood rat, being part of Mayweather's entourage might be quite fun, but he's just a pathetic human being, man. A midget. And anyway, and I said, yeah, didn't one of your entourage knock out an old man trainer? She didn't reply. And also, what else? I'd just keep teasing her. I try and egg her on. It costs $0 to be kind. I go, oh, but what's your cash app? What's your cash app, Clarence? I'll put in $0 in it if you like. Whatever. It was not that funny, but anyway. I misspelt it. Anyway, I meant to say anyway, it's good you got a fat ass. Because when that Latvian bum bounced you off the canvas, it wouldn't have hurt you so much. You remember that it wasn't really a bum, but I don't know, this Latvian guy, he didn't really make it as a boxer. He had about 6 fights, and Clarence was trying to prove, hey, I can hang with the men and beat up the man. And, he went around and he said, oh, what's that? He said to his trainer, I said, just keeps on trying to hurt me. What should I do? He goes, just whack her back. So he did. And he flattened her on her fat ass and knocked her out. And then she was so hurt, she started to make excuses. Yo, the gloves was rigged. They took out all the foam of the gloves and shit. Whinging and complaining. No, man, you got banged by a man. And that's what happens. Yeah, you bum, and you got knocked out. So, anyway, she hasn't answered back, obviously. I don't think she will, but it was so funny, man, to have this fat ass hoe answer, be so touchy just that she answers. Not only that, but trying to lecture me on life therapy. You need a life, and that I should be more kind when she goes around spending her entire time slagging off every other woman boxer in the world, saying how great she is. Complaining, and hood rat friends knock out some old man. I mean, these people have got no self-awareness. When I say, what do you mean you? What do you mean these people? What do you mean you people? Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Hood rats. Ghetto scum with low IQ. They got no sense of self-awareness. And a poorly developed prefrontal lobe. What have you ever done that's nice and kind, Clarence Shields? Yeah? Whether it cost you $0 or not. In fact, you're trying to get $15 million to fight Layla Ali, who's 47. I mean, imagine buying tickets for that dog shite. What is wrong with it? I mean, that's how easy it is to program people, isn't it? You saw how many beta males and cucks and all these people who are watching the Lionesses because they were told they're better than the men and they should watch it. That's how easy it is to program idiots, So there will be people that would buy tickets, and I would never buy a single ticket to a women's boxing show, a single one. When they're live, I just go to the bar and get my drink on. They're so whack. Like I said, Clarence is probably the best. He's the best of a bad bunch, but anyway. It was kind of funny to me. I hope Clarence gets back to me. I might send her some more messages. Maybe I'll ask her out for a date. Maybe I'll say, look, man, I'm sorry I disrespected you, Clarence. I'll tell you what, I'll take you to what's your favorite chicken shop? You know? If you come over to England, I'll take you to Morley's. Morley's is a very famous, very nice chicken shop. Or we can do KFC. Well, like we said, we got Popeyes and shit. We got Popeyes and shit now in the UK. And we haven't got chicken filet, but I don't think you like that anyway. Is that the white person's chicken shop? I don't know. I can't remember, man. I don't know about the politics of fried chicken in the United States, but I'm pretty sure Clarence would want to go to Popeyes. So yeah, maybe I'll say to Clarence, listen, next time you're in London, in the UK, I'll take you out to Popeyes, man. I'll take you out to Popeyes. But I ain't gonna rump you up because you look like a fat transformer version of Michael Nunn. Oh yeah, I beats the GWOAT. I beats the GWOAT. Ain't nobody gonna beat me. Ain't nobody gonna beat me. Man or woman, I beats the GWOAT. I beats the GWOAT. Yeah, you wanna smell this? Smell this, boy. Smell this, white boy. I beats the GWOAT.